Authorities say Yakima County is a hub for drugs and gang violence. And with local law enforcement resources being stretched, they're turning to the FBI for help. KPKV's Emily Goodell reports that partnership is making progress and resulted in more than a half dozen indictments just this week.
Yakima County has been a drug corridor for decades. Drugs flow from the south up through Yakima County, and then are distributed back to the west side of the state and the west side of Oregon, and then as far east as the Dakotas. It's a huge deal.
That's why there's an FBI task force working with local law enforcement to target drug traffickers, gang members, and criminals with a long history of violence.
Drug usage causes people to engage in other criminal activity. Our goal in combating the supply of drugs is to keep the community safe and even keep those users from being negatively affected by their addiction.
This week, the task force charged 5 people accused of distributing significant amounts of methamphetamine in Yakima County.
When you take them out of the community, it's like cutting the head off the snake. It can have a lot of impact, more impact than what you would think.
Authorities say fewer drug dealers on the streets could mean fewer robberies, shootings, and assaults, and fewer people becoming victims of a violent crime.
People who have been victimized by violent offenders, which include many missing and murdered Indigenous women and people, are going to be served well by our targeted enforcement efforts to remove violent offenders from the community.
Authorities say some gang members could potentially face charges for violating the federal racketeer-influenced and corrupt organization law, which was designed to fight organized crime like the mafia. The problem? It's difficult to prove.
Sometimes those fit within a RICO-type scheme, and sometimes they don't.
They take a lot of time, and I'm not talking about weeks or months. It can take years to really have an effective RICO operation.
Authorities say they should be able to file charges against additional suspects very soon. In Yakima County, Emily Goodell, KPKV Local News.
And authorities say the FBI task force will continue to invest more resources in fighting violent crime in Yakima County.